Hey, good morning, fam. It's your boy Michael Lavelle here with another video. Two. Um, Coming in just to kind of piggyback up for what I was talking about on my last video. So, if you haven't noticed, if you haven't seen, I created a short. That short detailed that I quit my job with no plans. I was doing freelance work. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. So now I'm back at square one, right? Um, a lot of people, why did you quit your job? Why did you do this? It was extremely stressful. I'm one of those people. I'm a hard worker. I've been a hard worker for the past, I want to say, 20 years that I've been working. Coming in, giving 150% every place that I've been. I received multiple promotions with multiple companies that I worked at, things of that nature, but nothing significant or life changing, right? No leaders that I had experienced prior to my earlier years in management were really beneficial, right? Usually you look for your mentors to be managers with tenured experience, people who have years in that particular genre of work. But unfortunately, I didn't come across too many of those people. A lot of times I was figuring shit out on my own. So, you know how when you apply for jobs and they say, what type of experience do you have? Do you have like a degree or do you have like work experience? A lot of my management experience comes through working, developing, planning, being strategic about those plans, etc. So I know how to execute. I know how to do a lot of that, but you run into a lot of issues when you don't have a degree. So a little bit about my educational background. Um, we went to. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, by the way. My mom moved us to Atlanta in 2003. 2003, I went to Booker T. Washington. Then I went to Forest Park High, and then I ended up dropping out. Long story, and I'm gonna make it short. My mom was a single parent of three. She wasn't very supportive because, for any human being, right, no matter the gender, if you have three other human beings, they require separate attention, all different, of course. And then on top of that, you still gotta, figure out your life, figure out your personal life, working, etc. So a lot of that, just takes place. So anywho, my mom didn't really have a lot of time to be as supportive as I needed. So me being young, me being emotional and experienced in life, as most of us are at a young age, um, I decided to drop out because I felt like, my mom was struggling. It would make more sense since I wasn't getting really anything out of Forest Park High the way that I was at Booker T. Washington. I just decided to go ahead and just drop out, get a job, and start from there. I didn't really see the importance of education. Nobody in my immediate family um, was college educated, graduates, or anything like that. I have a few cousins who graduated, but I'm not close. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother story. But I'm not really close to any of my family on either side, right? For reasons that I can get into at a later date. All right. So anyway, um, once again, you are. I come from a single mom. She really didn't have the educational background to kind of instill certain things in us that I think are important for children, that I think are important for young adults, right? Because the foundation made is how everything kind of plays out, right? And it's kind of hard to unlearn things that you've unlearned since you've learned since the beginning of your existence, right? You've seen your peers do it, you've seen your elders do it, and then now just out of I guess a systematic way of thinking, you in turn do some of those same things. It's not because you're trying to, you want to mimic that. Sometimes that's all you know. So that's all you know to do. And that's why I feel exposure. And like if you do have kids, if you do have young adults, get them exposed to some culture. I do appreciate us moving out to Atlanta back in '03 because that, catapulted me into like a critical thinking like mindset to a certain extent, right? Because some things I just go off of impulse and feelings, and some things I actually do think about. This one particular situation, I just kind of like went off of a whim. All right. So anyway, so I think that's very important. The foundation of any human being, it just needs to be structured. No structure, life is going to be unstructured until they get some structure on their own. And that's kind of like where I'm at now. The past 20 years, bro, I've been having fun. Not even gonna cop. I lived in Atlanta. Lived in Minnesota, visited a few places, took a few trips. Like I've been having fun, living my best life, and employed, gainfully employed, right, for years. The last employer that I was with was only 4 months, but that was a horrible company and a horrible decision on my part. Um, and the job before that, I was with for 6 years. I came in as a regular sales associate. Within a month, I got a promotion to a store manager. Um, over the years, I became like a RA manager, training manager. Yeah, just all around stand up guy. He does his job. Let's give him more responsibility. It seems like you want to do it, etc. I was with that company for 6 years, store manager, regional trainer, and then I got promoted to a district manager. I'll kind of make a separate story for um, the district manager position in that company itself, because I did sign some contracts and whatnot. So I know I can't divulge too much about that company, but I definitely will. But anyway, so you don't have the structure, your family doesn't have the structure, and sometimes it's kind of hard for you to kind of get into that bag, right? And for me, everything has came so easy over the last 20 years. Like I've never really had to, if I'm being honest, apply myself to my fullest potential. And what do you mean apply yourself to your fullest potential? So, I just used to get jobs easily. So I'll go submit the application, get the interview. I will kill the interview because I'm a good interviewer. I'm a good talker. I'm social to a certain extent. And I like to converse with people who got sense, or if there's a uh, a basis around the conversation, right? All right. So, did the whole moms things, got into the old jobs. So back to what I was saying. So pretty much, you give so much to these companies and then you end up back at square one. So my goal is to kind of show you guys like my process of how I'm getting myself up out this funk, my thought process and being strategic about how I want to move around and how I want to advance my life, and then also trying to find a career path that I feel like is fulfilling. I think for me, I'm 38 right now. Going back to school is just not something I'm interested in doing. At this point in my life, I'm not. I commend those who have the courage and the stamina and the mindset to do it. That school shit is over for me. Like, ain't no turning back. So shout out to all the college grads who wants to still doing it, continuing to do it. Shout out to you guys, because that's just not in my spirit. I just want to go to work, come home, be done. I don't want to do all this extra shit. Like, I'm just kind of tired of it, and I can't take none of that shit with me anyway. So why go put myself in $1,000 of debt? And that was my thought process back then too. Why would I go put myself in thousands of dollars in debt for a degree I'm probably not even going to use? And then, hindsight is 2020. Me not having a degree and me still getting some of these high paying positions. Um, it's not a necessity in a sense. It looks good on paper, but it's just not a necessity because I still don't see the difference between a college grad and then somebody who has the work experience. In some cases, I kind of outperform those people who excel, academically. And I'm a high school dropout, right? Shit's not hard. So I want to show you guys the steps that I'm taking to, one, gainfully get employed. Two, find the right position that I feel at this point in my life it has to be satisfying, right? I have to have some gratification from what I'm doing. And if I don't have any type of positive gratification for what I'm doing, I'm not going to feel fulfilled. I don't have any kids. I don't want any kids. That's not what I see for my life. This world is just too crazy for me to be bringing an innocent life in this world, and the type of heart and character that I have for people and things and all this stupid shit we're fighting over. I would never in my life bring a child onto this cursed planet. And God bless your souls who continue to do so, especially the ones who ain't trying to make this world a better place. You just dumping kids on this planet and letting them go figure the shit out. I think that's fucked up. I think you're a fucked up person. So if you're doing that, stop. Stop, fix yourself, and make sure that you are setting your kids up for success. Because a lot of times, especially in the black community, we just be sitting up here giving life to motherfuckers with no plan. No plan. And then as soon as they hit 18, they just supposed to have it all figured out. Like, that's just what it is. So kind of to segue back into that, I've been figuring shit out on my own since I was a kid. And I had a mom, but my mom was busy working, paying bills, and trying to balance her life, right? I seen it, I witnessed it, it was annoying, but you know, that's my mom. I'm always gonna have her back. At the same time, I think it's important to, like I said before, just have a fucking plan. Nobody can plan for certain stuff. You know, sometimes you out there, you just, you know, and guess what? Whoops, there go a baby. You know what I'm saying? But what's the plan? What's the plan for that life, right? Because your life is now, I don't want to say over, but to a certain extent, it is kind of over because now your energy should be going into making sure that that seed you put on this planet that should supersede your life, you know, is set up for success in all ways, shape, or fashion. Even if that means you got to sacrifice up on some shit that makes you comfortable, you know, that makes you happy, right? And I feel like when you really love and care for people, sacrifice is the greatest, what can I say? The greatest fucking sacrifice is the greatest gift, right? Because that shows me like if you willing to sacrifice something you like for me, you fuck with me, right? And that makes me in turn want to go back and do the same for you. And if you got sense, right? And like I said, that's subjective. But anyway, um, I kind of just wanted to get back on topic about like the jobs, and I think all that stuff that I just mentioned plays a part. And I think it's very important that we acknowledge all of that because when we acknowledge it, we do better. We set our next setup for success, and then we just move a little bit more accordingly. So now, like I said, I've my last job I was with for 4 months. My biggest issue with companies, and this is why I'm just like so reluctant to go into especially like service work or service work adjacent because people are for one are uncouth, have no responsibility, um, and then just not team players. So you sit, you can coach, you can develop some people, and it all is for nothing, right? You invest in that energy for nothing. You invest in that time for nothing for people who don't care, who practically don't even want to be there. They just there because they ain't got fired yet, right? And you're supposed to like work around that, work in that environment that is toxic, right? So, like, what's a toxic work environment? Toxic work environment when you got a boss who never gives you shout outs or praise, right? Always focus on the negative, never around, always micromanaging, wants to have control but don't know what's going on and making decisions. Someone who doesn't listen, who isn't open to communication, and don't think that that open door policy at your company is really open. Because a lot of times it's open so that you can walk through that bitch and get to your car. And I'm going to tell you about that shit also because that open door shit can be a trap. So sometimes um closed mouths do get fed, right? Because you retain your job, you don't have no drama because you complain about something or you complain about what someone's doing. It's best sometimes to just keep your head down, do your job, and get the fuck on. Especially if you do not have to really interact with that person to do your job and go home. Like, don't make it a bigger issue because I promise you, when you make it a bigger issue, sometimes it's just not worth the headache. And then you wish, like, damn, I should have just never said nothing because now this is making it more than what it is. Man, I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. I've been the person motherfuckers vent to, right? Because I'm a real person. Like, at the end of the day, these companies don't give a fuck about us. Your coworkers, your managers, back in the day, motherfuckers used to become friends. I don't know what the fuck happened between, I want to say about 2010 to now, because the last 15 years, niggas done switched up for real. But it used to be a time where you can go to work and have fun, have friends. Y'all come work together. Now it's all somebody trying to get over, somebody trying to get this, somebody not trying to do that. It's real weird now. And I don't know if they put something in the water, something in the air for you motherfuckers in America, but y'all been tripping lately. Like it's I used my last for real job that I had where I made like legit friends at the workplace was Wells Fargo. That was the last job. Wells Fargo was the last job where I actually was cool and retained some of the relationships of like my coworkers. That was the last job. I don't fuck with nobody else at no other company that I've worked at since then. And it ain't because of me. Because I'm a bitch that I can call, I can reach out, I can say hey, but I'm not funny. I'm not funny acting. If we cool, we cool. Ain't no harm in being cool. But if you don't want to be cool, don't make it seem like you want it to be that way when it's not that. It's just, and that creates weird energy at work too. Because then you start taking shit personally, like, well, is it me? You got an issue with me? And then it don't even be that deep, right? So one thing that I've started doing is I keep my nose out of shit. It was shit going on at this last company that was going on. I didn't really say too much, right? Because obviously the shit been going on since before I was here. And I'm not one to be oblivious about changing the culture, right? In order to change the culture, you have to lead by example, but you also have to get people willing to believe and trust in that culture you're trying to put in place, right? And if you already got a structure of people who don't give a fuck about the culture, they just want to do what they want to do, that makes it very challenging for you to come in and change the morale of that store. For me, man, y'all, no cap. I was working in the hood. I knew I was gonna have my challenges because I've worked in the hood since I've been in Cleveland. Multiple shit, Cleveland is the fucking hood. Let's be clear. If you ain't on the west side, Cleveland the hood. If you in the city of Cleveland, Cleveland is the fucking hood. Outside of Cleveland, let's say like University Heights, Cleveland Heights, that's where it gets a little bit better. But it ain't all that. But it's a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So I worked in the hood, since I've been in Cleveland, right? For most of my jobs. And it's definitely the mindset of the people and the mindset of the area that that business is located that makes it to where you can either be high functioning or low functioning. What do you mean high functioning? Being efficient, getting the job done, being able to focus on your tasks, your specific tasks as the store manager. Because your stuff is not only servicing the customers or ensuring that they're getting served properly, but to make sure the integrity of the business flows properly. So safety, chemicals, marketing, POPs, scheduling, interviewing, trying to plan out your week, right? This particular company, bro, they want you to run two positions and then also try to do your work, bro. Two things I'm not doing. One thing Ace Cash Express taught me, I'm never in my life bringing work home, ever. My nigga, if I can't finish that shit before I get off, it's going to have to wait until tomorrow. Because I am never having my freedom taken away like that again, bro. Like when I was a district manager, I'm talking about niggas calling you at 4 or 5 in the morning, talking about, oh, I'm sick, I can't come in. Bitch, if you sick at 4 in the fucking morning, bitch, you was sick at 11 at night. Like, get the fuck out of here. Bitch, if your kid was sick at 6 in the morning, bitch, your kid was sick last night with a virus or whatever little bullshit they be having going on. All in all, once upon a time, there was a point where the higher you got, the easier it got to a certain extent, right? Less work you had to do physically, it was more mental work. And then you had the support of your peers to kind of guide you in the right direction. Nowadays, trainers don't really train and they don't really want to train. And then their methods in training need to be tested before they're actually pushed as trainers, right? So I'll give you an example. The way that I trained, Tell, show, do, review. First day, you'll shadow me. I'm showing you everything you need to know. Second day, actually have you on the register, able to sign in, clock in, things like that, show you how the panini work, how the printers work, let you fidget with any mess ups that may happen. Third day, I'm getting you started. Well, first day, I'm also doing safety and security, all that other shit. So pretty much, I had a structured way of like doing stuff to make sure that you knew what to do, you knew how to do it, you know the why, what, and hows. That way, if anybody came and asked you a question that you may not have been privy to, you have the ability to answer it yourself confidently, right? Because confidence is key. That company, the RVP calls me out the blue. Now, mind you, I had already made a name for myself in the company, right? My numbers, my performance, my speed, my accuracy, a plethora of things. So I really wasn't shocked, but I was kind of like, like, oh shit, the big man calling me. Get the call, get offered the position. I accepted. Within a week, I was able to find me a place, move all my shit down there, and still go to my Beyonce concert. This was July of 2023. I still was able to go to my Beyonce concert. And boy, when I tell y'all, see, I got a little dye in my beard because I be covering up my grays. I didn't expect to get these until after 40. Like my mom don't even got grays. Like what the fuck? Uh, what I was gonna say? Yeah, all this, all this came in the last 2 years. The year that I was with Ace, what a year and a half that I was with Ace, and then the other few months that I was with um, this restaurant. That's where all these came from. I will put somewhere in this video of what I look like literally 2 years ago. I had maybe one gray hair on my face. Maybe one. You always get one in your 30s. I had that bitch for the longest. I had that bitch ever since I was like 32. And then that last year with Ace, and then that last year with motherfucking the half a year I was with that restaurant, bro, aged the fuck out of me. I'm talking about, you see the hollows under my eyes, bro, like aged the fuck out of me. And I thought about it to myself because I'm like, fuck. I'm sitting up here. It's kind of like with these bogus ass relationships nowadays. You kind of put all your energy into it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to show you a stand up this, show you a stand up that, and the whole time you being used and abused. And don't even know it because you too busy trying to show a motherfucker what you can do, and they too busy seeing what you can do and taking what you can do. No reciprocity. No real genuineness in the workforce. No real angle in my career path, nothing. You just threw me out there and I was just supposed to figure it out. And I did for a year until I got tired of everything being me. So all these grown ass bitches on payroll and everything fall on me. A bitch got kid issues, can't show up for work, falls on me. Motherfucker stomach hurt, they need to go home, falls on me. But when I was that same type of employee, associate, store manager, I brought my ass to work. Rain, sea, to snow. Brought my ass to work. Working Fridays, cashing 70 checks, doing probably 50, 60 loans. Fucking on top of bill payments and money sends and all that other shit by myself. No complaints. So for me, it's all about you and then the people you got around you. Because if you don't got good people around you who really want you to grow, who really want to see you succeed, it's not going to happen if you're not focused enough. It's not going to happen if you don't already got a plan in place. And like I said, my goal is to show whoever needs to hear this, whoever can relate, how just to get back up on your feet and to do it by yourself, self sufficiently, and with your head up. Because ultimately, that's what it boils down to. It boils down to ensuring that you good, ensuring that you have the skill and the will to do what you need to do for yourself. And I've only been unemployed for like a month, but um, I honestly just don't want to work for people because I feel like I'm gonna come and give you all the good things about me, bring in all my abilities, all of my skills and stuff that I've acquired over the years, and you just give me this little funky ass check, and then I get in here, and guess what? It may be two, three times worse than what you delivered it as, because that's what happened with the last company. So for me, I'm no longer tolerating that. I'm no longer tolerating that miscommunication, the omitting things. I'm just not tolerating it. So going forward, if you sell me your company as this and I get in and it's something completely different, I'm more than likely to motherfucking quit on your ass. Because why am I finna come up here and put out with all this bullshit, but the moment I'm late or I'm fucking up, you about ready to get rid of me? Yeah, I ain't doing that shit no more. That shit over with, bro. Companies ain't even loyal to you no more. So if you ain't even loyal to me, why should I be loyal to you? And that's how I see it. And that's business, family, relationships, friends, all that shit. If you got a bunch of goofy ass motherfuckers who claim like they cool and they ain't really trying to like have your back the way they need to, bro, get rid of their ass. Job, friends, family, get rid of them, bro. I don't talk. The only people I talk to in my family is my mama, my sister, and my brother. That's my family. That's it. Everybody else, see you when I see you. Talk to you when I talk to you. It ain't never been an issue. Ain't never gonna be an issue. Ain't no ill will. It's just you know who got your best interest and you know who don't got your best interest. You know who give a fuck about you and you know who don't give a fuck about you. And as long as you know that, you move accordingly in this world. And you don't have problems, but you shouldn't have no major problems. That's for sure. All right, well, that's it for this video. It was a little bit all over the place. I'm gonna go through, chop it up, screw it, edit it, try to make it make sense. I might add some inserts in. Remember, I'm just trying to get my content flowing and just get consistent. I don't expect to be rich off of this. I just expect to gain some type of camaraderie and brotherhood and sisterhood and alignment. And hopefully we can bounce ideas and just suggestions and experiences off of each other, right? Because my way ain't the best way and it ain't the end all be all. One thing that I appreciated about living in Atlanta for 15 years is it exposed me to a different quality of life. And if you like, oh, what do you mean quality of life? Visit Cleveland. Visit Cleveland. Stay for a week. Just don't come for a day or two. Really tour the city and then compare it to your quality of life. And you be like, oh, okay, I see what he's talking about. But I love my city though. I ain't gonna shit on my city. It's cool, but we could do better. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm out.